1922 caps off an amazing year of Stephen King adaptations. This was added to Netflix as of midnight tonight. I pressed play on this movie at 12:01. I was waiting and waiting. I have gotten amazing adaptations this year, including It, Gerald's Game, and The Incredible Mr. Mercedes, which most people aren't able to watch because of it being a DirecTV audience channel exclusive. Now, this movie was directed by Zach Hilditch, who directed the very, very great These Final Hours, which is currently streaming on Netflix. If you have a chance, I highly recommend checking that out. It's a wonderful movie. So I was very excited when I heard he was directing this. This is starring Thomas Jane, who I am a big fan of, and this would be his third Stephen King feature, including The Mist and Dreamcatcher. Now, this will be a hard film for me to, not be biased about because I am a fan of Stephen King and I have read the novella that this is based on. The only thing that I can tell people that are not fans of the book and don't know anything about it is that this is a very slow burn movie. It is a period piece. It is obviously set in 1922. It is mostly drama. It is mostly long scenes of dialogue between characters. It's set out in, out in the country. They own a house that's out, they have cornfields, and so it's just secluded area. It's mostly only a couple characters. There's very mild amounts of horror in this. What horror is in this is good, but as I said, it is sporadic and not often. So if I do think that there will be a lot of people who are bored by this movie and wanting it to be a little bit more, either action-packed or faster paced, and I understand that. But as a fan of the book, and if you are a fan of the novella that this is based upon, this is almost word for word. I will get into a couple of the things that they changed. I'm going to pretty much stay spoiler free here, but I will try to keep that as spoiler free as I can. Now, I got to watch this on my 4K television. I'm lucky enough to have one, and this is a Netflix original, so it was 4K and it streamed in 4K and it looked fantastic. The cinematography, the sets, the cars, everything looked like it was from 1922. Netflix definitely put some money into this movie. And they also put their faith in Zach Hilditch, which Netflix is known for. They give creative control to their directors, and it definitely shows in the last two efforts that they've had for Stephen King adaptations. Mike Flanagan with Gerald's Game, which was excellent. This was also another one that was, followed the book so well, and man, am I excited about it. Now, this is very much Thomas Jane's movie. And that's where some of the difference from the book to the film comes, is that this is told completely through him. And scenes with his son and his girlfriend are done in montages later in the book, in the film. If you've read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. What happens in their storyline is done in a montage. And that was one of my only complaints with this, because I really felt like that was important to the story, to get that emotional punch from those characters. And you only get to really see it through Thomas Jane finding out about it. And while he's amazing in this film, and I truly think that he gives a great performance here, he talks, in a Southern accent, and he's that old Southern guy that only can talk through his teeth. And it's very, very good. I think that there will be people who find it over the top and silly and whatnot, but I think it's very accurate. But yeah, I do wish that they would have given a little bit more of the screen time to his son and their daughter. Now, if you do not know what this movie is about, if you want to avoid any spoilers and you want to go into this fresh, not knowing anything about it, which is how I recommend every film, people should go in blind. But if you don't and you want a brief synopsis, I can tell you, and this is revealed very quickly into the movie, but a man and his son conspire and come up with a plan to kill the mom because she wants to sell the house and the land and move to the city, and they do not want to. This film is basically about how guilt can consume you and ultimately destroy you. Now, another thing that I really enjoyed in this movie was the special effects work. The horror, although light, when it is on screen, it looks great. And it is very unsettling and hard to watch and hard to look at. The cast is altogether great here. There is not one actor in this movie that doesn't give an excellent performance and was casted incorrectly. The 14-year-olds look 14, the people look dirty, they look southern, they look like, they should. And the sets look great. The cars look great. Everything just looks great. It looks real. This is a real film with real people in it. It doesn't feel theatrical. It doesn't feel like you're watching something that has been, written. And I think, as I said, I think that's where it will lose some of its audience because it is a little bit more slow and plodding along. But I really respected that about it. And I think if you are a Stephen King fan and have read this novel, I'll be pretty surprised if you don't like this adaptation. I mean, this is damn near exact. As I said, there's things that are sped up and there's things, but man, I don't feel like this could have been done a whole lot better with the source material given. So I'm very excited to have this as part of the collection now, and I can't wait to see what's next. There is still a possibility we'll see. I know that the next Children of the Corn movie, the 10th Children of the Corn movie, is still said to be released this year in 2017. It is completed. I am not sure when we're going to get it. I feel like at this late of a date, though, we're past mid-October now, I just don't see it being released that quickly in 2 months, but you never know. So there might be a 7th. We'll see. But other than that, what a great year for Stephen King, man. I am very much looking forward to seeing what we get next.